Then you kick it off, tough guy.
Hey, what's up, guys? You're kicking it with Rob. C5, C6, D10.
Jimmy Quad, affectionately known as, well, Sean Peter McCartney, affectionately known as the Angry Quad. Quadriplegic C456. Yay!
Hey everybody, my name is Cordy Transforms, and I'm a T9 complete paraplegic.
Oh, you're complete? I didn't know that. Full-blown severing?
No severing at all. Oddly enough, on the X-rays, it didn't look like anything was wrong with me at all. The doctors think it just snapped, and then I went straight back. It didn't look like there was any damage whatsoever. There was like a little chip on a vertebrae, but that was it.
I tell you, spinal cord injury is so strange. It really, it's an anomaly within injuries. And just not only that, but the simple fact of, do you understand why the spinal cord doesn't heal as quickly as it should, as compared to like a broken arm or a laceration, or nerve damage in the arm or something like that, as compared to the spinal cord? Any clue about any of that?
No, why's that?
No, sir.
Really? When I got involved with research, one of the reasons I got involved is because I think it's I live 20 minutes from one of the top research joints in the country, if not the world. So I was like, okay, I got to do that. B, it gave me something to do, and C, I figured there's a very distinct possibility I can learn a whole ton of shit out of here. And inadvertently, yes, I did. The problem you have with the spinal cord as it goes down the vertebrae and everything else like that is the spinal cord itself is encased in what's known as the derma, which is almost like a bag. And one of the reasons that is because, with the exception of like meningitis or something like that, spinal meningitis, it's very difficult for bacteria and viruses to actually attack the spinal cord because of the spinal fluid. That's when they do a puncture, like spinal puncture or spinal tap. They actually have to puncture through that derma. And the spinal fluid in there is rather protective of the spinal cord for obvious reasons. And one of the problems you have with the injury is that the platelet-rich red bloods, oxygen-rich red blood, stem cell-rich red blood cells can't get to it. So all of your body's healing properties cannot access the actual spinal cord. So there, in turn, that's what the anomaly is. That's what the problem is with spinal cord, because you can't get there from here. Really difficult. But I'm willing to learn, dude, because let me tell you something, Rob. I'm still waiting to hear back from my one doctor to see if that prolotherapy is something that might do something. I don't know what that is, considering the fact that you can't get there from here. But maybe if you just keep bombarding that area, even though you can't really get there, shit does still get there, but it's extremely slow. First off, you have nerve damage. You're lucky to get like a millimeter a month or something like that. And that's like an arm, leg, or something else outside the spinal cord. But however, I don't want to sit here and make like I know what the fuck is going on, because I got shit. Because if I did, I'd be the fuck out of here. That's a facto, bro.
So it's pretty much what we're talking about today is where our friends went after a spinal cord injury.
Okay. You're up there, tough guy.
Well, when I first got injured, I had all kinds of people coming in, see me, visiting me. ICU, out to Philly. And then, I'd say slowly, my friends started disappearing. and then I had nobody, and then Tara, and now I have her. But yeah, it was weird because I used to think I had a lot of friends. And after my injury, not so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of had a similar but different experience. Like all my friends stayed with me even past that initial accident part, and man, they were just really super good to me. And over the years, I'd say probably 5, 6 years into it, I just started pushing everybody away, and then I started moving away, and I just stopped trying to find friends altogether.
Yeah, I think that was one of my biggest issues, was pushing people away.
Oh yeah, and I don't really know why, other than I just hated life, and I was mad at myself, and there was shame, and I don't know, resentments maybe, but not towards them, more towards myself and situation.
Oh, dude, self-loathing is one of the biggest obstacles to deal with as it pertains to this injury. Something of this magnitude that takes you out of the game. And I said this last time, and you're like, "What the?" I mean, you're all pissed. I was like, "You've been stuck on the B squad, dude. You're like you're stuck in JV, man. And the coach doesn't call for you for the big plays. The rest of the team is over there doing whatever they're doing, and you're relegated to the back bench, man. You're like, what the? I was the star. Me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. But friends are a fickle thing, and let there be known that one of the things that we have as we're a little bit younger, we have friends on tap. Everybody's a friend. They're coming out of the woodwork. As you get a little bit older, much like you guys just said before, you moved away, you did whatever, your life, you take certain twists and turns. So that in turn, because of that, your friends are doing the same thing. However, you're mistaking an acquaintance for a friend. Just because you have a mutual friend of someone else doesn't mean that they're a friend. And, it's after something along these lines, and especially, I mean, sorry to break it to you, boys, I'm a couple weeks older than you guys. So, some of the friendships slash acquaintanceships, have already manifested in me. So, it's difficult to deal with, and it's difficult to understand. It's difficult to accept the fact that your friends who, once you're first all busted up and new and shiny like a new penny. Well, let's go see Cordy. Let's go see Rob. Yeah, let's go see Sean. Oh, look, there he is, all fucked up. All right, Sean, I'm out. Let me get back to my world. Yeah, but that's all, folks. It is what it is, man.
I think after I lost my voice, man, that really, sucked. Because it wasn't just a spinal cord injury now. Now I had no voice on top of it. And you've seen me a year without a voice. I mean, I was up there before. It really put any kind of social aspect of life, it kind of killed it.
Hey, Cord, I like the fact that you responded to Nicole. I was going to say, hey, you could be the official response to the guy or girl that shows up and stuff like that. Because you're doing a hell of a lot better than I do, man.
And stuff like that, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say it on air. I'll type it. You say it on air because I forget to say it live. I say it in the chat room, but I think it's cool. I think it's cool to do it both ways.
Well, I try not to step over anybody or step on anybody. So, it is what it is. Nicole's a good girl. She's a busy girl doing busy girl things. No, it's when you're first injured, you really are. You're the shiny penny in the room, and it seems to me that a lot of people want to create the illusion that they're better friends. I mean, I know for me that I had people packing into my hotel room when I was in rehab. I had people coming through ICU. And even though, like I had a lung infection and shit like that, and people had to, put on all this, gas masks or whatever they were and all the rest of that tough guy shit, I still had people lining up around the block. And then as time goes, you're no longer the cool kid on the block. But I will tell you one thing as absolute. Something along these lines gives a serious separation, delineation, whatever you want to call it, of the people that you knew that were your actual, real friends and people that were just acquaintances, people that you knew vicariously through that guy, people that you saw around. It's, a lot of times, workplace acquaintances, they're under the impression that they're friends. There's a difference between an actual friend and a work friend. It's huge, fucking monstrous.
I don't know. I don't really have any. It's like the support that kills me. It's like I don't have family. I don't have friends. And it's hard when you don't have that support.
Of course. Absolutely. I will say for myself, when Mary bought this house, I think I've talked to you about this. Cordy, I didn't tell you about this. When Mary bought this house, this entire house, half of it got, like everything you see behind me. No. I had about 30 of my goons that came through here. People that I knew and people that I knew that bought in their workers. People that I knew that I had done work for. I did favors for and everything else I got. I had 30 guys come in this fucking house and rip this place down to stud. They put in micro lamps. They redid my bathroom. They redid my bedroom. They tore everything down to nothing and put it all back together. And at the very time when I came home, March 1st, 2012, you could have heard a collective sound of guys taking off their work belts, and you heard a thump, 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 thump. And that was it. After that, crickets. I guess they did their job. They paid their price, paid their debt to society or Sean society or whatever you want to call it. Just like that, like a fart in the wind, they were gone.
It's natural though, right? I mean, I've had similar experiences, I guess you could say, but I kind of see it as that's just how things are. That would have happened probably to us in one form or another had we not been put in a wheelchair. Like, you're always gonna eventually lose friends or whatever. Your friends are gonna become your acquaintances, or acquaintances become nobody or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't blame anybody for that necessarily or put fault on them. Who knows? You'd probably do the same thing. That's how I see it. I'd probably do the same thing.
I don't put fault on them. I mean, of course, some people grow apart, but when you get injured, I think it's a whole new story. It's like you have this up and then this crash, and then you're depressed. Then you start pushing people away.
Well, yeah, I mean, initially it's, you're not exactly the big, draw attraction at Disney anymore. It's just that deadening blanket of depression and understanding what's going on. It's not exactly like you're a magnet that people want to flock to. I believe we got the quad father in the house too, huh? Is that Bobby Rohan? Welcome to the show there, tough guy. But no, it's once again, much like you just said, Court, you know, would you do the same thing? History sort of dictates yes, you would. Because as you get older, you know, your friends, well, they're dying and, you know, people move away. And it's a natural progression of things. But, you know, it's terrible, but it just is what it is, man. You know, it just is what it is. You know, it's the reason it smells like shit and tastes like shit is because it is shit.
That kind of reminds me of something too. I was always grateful that I didn't have a girlfriend or wife or anything at the time, because if I would have, I would have almost expected them to leave as well, and I probably would have been okay with that too, because it's unfair to everybody. You know, it's unfair to us. It's unfair to our families and friends. That
Oh,
I don't know. It's a crazy situation.
I think we live with that every day. That we're a burden on our family, friends, girlfriend, moms, dad. It's
just is what it is, man. Is what it is. You know, and I will say that one of the things that absolutely blew my mind, and I still thank the Lord every day, is that the person in my life that had the most impact, but the least amount to gain, was Mary. And the number one person that was in my corner, and she's still swinging like Muhammad Ali, man, is Mary. When I came out of the coma, I didn't know what the hell was going on or anything else like that. I'm tied to the bed because I was trying as much as I could to tear out whatever was on me because I'm retarded like that. And I opened my eyes. That woman was right there. And as soon as, because I still had the respirator and I could barely talk. And I just gave her the, you know, much like you are, boo boo. She came closer. And I said to her, I was like, listen, if you're not really good with this entire situation, and this is a little bit more than you banked on, if you have to leave, I would totally understand. The response was fucking, I went from like, you know, being all sympathetic to being like all pissed off. She looks at me and she goes, is that what you would do to me? I was like, bitch, that's not my question. I'm just letting you know that it's all right. I get it. You know, but still, she was like, what? I was like, damn, son.
yeah, I don't think if when I had my accident, if Tara was with me, she would have ever left. I mean, she's actually saved my life. I mean, I was in such horrible places and horrible health, man. I don't even know how she put up with me. I mean, infections bring out the worst in people. You get mean.
I never really did the mean thing. I'm not a mean person by nature. I'm a condescending, wise ass bitch. That's an absolute. I am terrible.
I think it was the sepsis.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
I would get it bad.
all right, Cord, you're up, dude.
I agree with Rob on that front. When I have an infection, I'm a jerk, but I might be a jerk all the time. I don't know.
Well,
It's possible.
we're starting to figure that out because you are an acquaintance. We're working on it. We're friendly, but we just ain't friends yet. We're working on that.
Oh,
You know,
that's good.
it takes a little while. Acquaintance is somebody you met or you know over there. A friend, that's a deep story, man. they've earned your trust. They burn themselves into your soul, you know. But it's really this situation differentiates all that shit. You know, it really does. You know, I'm actually fortunate to say that I have about 3 or 4 of my friends that I've known for well over 40 years that I still see at least every month. You know, I'll call them up and it's like nothing ever happened. You know, but once again, I'm rather fortunate in that thing. But I will say, that means I don't suck. What's up, bitches?
Unfortunately, I don't have that. I mean, I could probably tell you in the last 4 months, I don't think anybody has even came to see me. So I don't know if maybe that's lucky that they don't have to come over and pity me, or it's me just saying, yeah, I just don't want you here, so you don't pity me.
Okay. Well, didn't you move after your injury? Like you were removed from where you were hanging around?
After my injury, they took me to Philly for rehab, but I came back to my hometown.
Well, how far are you from Philly?
4 hours.
Oh, dude, it's not exactly conducive to a drop in, say what's up, fucker. You know, that's a big problem. How long were you there?
I would say a couple of months, and then I was in Hahnemann Hospital for a little bit because my infections were so bad.
Yep, just long enough to fall off the face of the earth, my man. You know, Gord. Now you're not where you were born and raised. You're in Kansas now, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, where were you living prior?
I'm from Wyoming, and my hometown is Sheridan. I lived there for a long time. That's where I was at when I got my accent. But like, I don't know, 5 years ago or so, I moved to a different town, and then just within the last 6 months, I moved here.
How far are you from where you were? You know, when you were born and raised?
Oh,
Where the rest of your regions are?
16, 15 hours, something like that. I don't know. Long ways.
Yeah. Oh, dude, you're completely reinventing yourself, my man. You really, I mean, I find that whole reinventing thing just superficial bullshit, but still at the same time, you know, Cordy died. So Cordy's got to be reborn. So it's not like you're really reinventing yourself. Dude, you're starting with a blank slate. Other than your balls and your big eyes, man. That's it. You got nothing else, man.
Yeah, that's how I like it. I've always kind of been the new kid, you know. I've moved around so much. I kind of enjoy that role.
Okay. When you were a kid, how many different schools did you go to?
I don't know. Um, around 10 probably.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I went to 8. I was a new kid all the time. I live in Cornwall here, and I still got one kid. Well, one kid, he's a fucking 60-year-old man. He still calls me new kid. You know, and it's just, it is what it is, dude.
Yeah, I prefer it that way at this point. And I guess I've been pushing people away so long. I'm kind of used to being alone. But it's not that I don't want people around. It's just that I'm choosy about who I want around.
Well, of course.
And
Definitely.
right now, I don't have any reason to go get friends. Personally, I'd rather try for acquaintances, mostly people that can help me in one form or another, you know. But I I don't know. I just think it's being choosy at this point, which is okay. But when does it become not okay? It's a good question. When do you start? Maybe doing something else.
Uh, when you say something else, what do you mean? Like actually trying to adhere back to people and things of that nature, and trying
I'm
to
just saying, like,
base of support.
I said it's okay right now for me because it's where I'm at in life. But if I was depressed or suffering from loneliness, which I have been in the past, and if anyone is, I mean, I think maybe that's a good time when you should try to find a friend or something. I don't know.
Well, I know you're also looking for a job and shit, ain't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, once you get yourself established with that, you'll get a few acquaintances and things of that nature. It's inevitable.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to make new ones when you can't venture out there and you drive, right, Cordy?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I don't drive right now. I drive people crazy. I just don't drive.
Damn right.
And Rob, you've seen my house. I got people walking up and down my sidewalk all day. I have neighbors and everything else like that. And when I say I fuck with everyone, I fuck with everyone. But I do it in a very endearing and genuine way. I make sure that I break their balls in the most loving and enchanting fashion. And acquaintances, my big problem is I don't shut up. Who we got here? Leland? Attaboy, boo boo. But I don't shut up. I don't have a problem meeting people. I've been in and out of research and everything else under the sun. For crying out loud, I think I know 10 doctors that I have on speed dial from like different forms of research. And yes, we will cross that bridge when we get there, tough guy.
I don't know. It's hard not having that support and like all the friends I used to have and doing all the stuff I used to do. But at the same time, I do like the person I've become. And I guess with that growth, time will change a lot of that.
Absolutely. I do like Leland's remark over here about it's like a lot of silliness, and friendship has to be earned. It's not a gimme. It's just you don't show up. And it's one of the things, and whether you guys get offended by this or not, and everything else like that, you guys are acquaintances to me. Rob, I obviously know you a little bit more, and I do believe that is a serious budding friendship. We're going to get there. Cordy, with all due respect, my brother, I think you're a pretty neat dude. I like your attitude when you're doing your videos. We're working on that. You know what I mean? There's a couple things, it's just like anything else. It's just, even Leland, he's commented a couple of my videos. I've never actually spoke to the man. We're going to work on that. I'll talk to him. We'll see what's going on. And I figure eventually we'll find a common ground. Perhaps maybe we're a little bit out of each other's, flavor selection, but, that's okay. We'll work through that.
I mean, how do you really make friends after you're in a wheelchair? I mean, where do you go? The park?
Yeah, exactly.
I used to go to the bar, but I wouldn't call everybody me at the bar a friend either. Most of them. But
once again,
that's also something I wouldn't recommend doing. But
yeah, that'd be a crazy DUI. You driving? That's a double DUI.
I thought of something when you were talking though, Angry Quad. Where do subs fall on your little hierarchy of friends and acquaintances.
Well, what do you mean subs?
People that like your YouTube channel and that you talk to on, like you brought up Leland.
No,
If he subbed to your channel, you'd be a sub.
they're all acquaintances. Like I said, you were talking about Super E before. I spoke to him 2 days ago. You know what I mean? I speak to him. I speak to Johnny Belknap. I speak to Johnny Norton, and I'm trying to get him on the chat. And I speak to about 3 different people that I was involved with research with. I speak to one of the therapists I was involved with research with. So these are all acquaintances. I don't know if it's truly possible. Ponder this one, gentlemen, if you will. Is it truly possible to find an actual friend after an injury like this? Would you open yourself up? Do you think you could be the friend to them that you would need from them to be a friend to you? There you go.
I think I could be a friend to someone in a wheelchair.
I'm not talking about someone in a wheelchair.
Just a friend in general.
Exactly.
Oh.
It's
right now, in this point in my life. Oh man, that's tough.
Exactly. It's very difficult.
I think you can. Obviously, it's possible. It depends on each person. For me, I think right now I'm probably in the best position to start making friends again. I think it's possible, yeah.
Well, it seems to me that you're getting back into a better mindset. You're starting to draw it back here because of the training that you're doing and the attitude adjustment that you're going through, and perhaps maybe a little bit of seclusion as well. You get a little bit of Cordy time. It's just.
Yeah, like I'm always pushing on the channel. If anybody does something little every day to help themselves, you're eventually going to get better. And hopefully someday it'll be so much better that you don't recognize yourself. That's what I feel like I'm doing. And I hope people can see that. And I hope that that's the message they're getting from me.
After your last video that I just checked out, I agree with everything you're saying. You ever heard the one thing? How do you eat an elephant?
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time, my brother. One bite at a time, and it just is what it is. It's just even still. I mean, do you think back in the '60s? When they finally got, man to the moon, they just woke up that day and said, fuck it. Give me that big rockety thing over there. All right, you guys, get in there. All right, light the fuse. Let's get out of here. No, it takes a while, man. It takes a while, and that's exactly how it is. In order to actually have a friend, it takes a while.
I couldn't imagine being paralyzed in the 60s. Oh man, that would have been a tough one.
Oof.
It would have been horrible. Anytime before, literally the 80s, 90s, probably the 90s would have been horrible.
It's just, I almost feel like I'm a little bitch because I know that there were pioneers way before me, you, and him, and others, or everybody else that, I would bet my left testicle the fact that the suicide rate was probably a lot higher back in the '60s after an injury, and also, not only that, but injuries after, and just bed sores, infections, Exactly. Everything's so much better. It's so much, it's almost creates the illusion that this is okay to live like this. I'm sorry. I don't buy it. I hate every feckin' day, but I do it. I'd like to believe I do it pretty damn well, but there's nothing written in the world that says I gotta like it.
And there's a lot of us out there that doesn't have transportation. Just
Guilty.
head over to the store, or it takes, and it sucks because you're putting so much work on the other people, to load the chair and do all that other shit
You mean shit like that?
and shit like that.
Oh, goodness. Leland's talking about the fact that, institutionalization rates were definitely higher up there because at-home care didn't really exist. It was just sort of getting on the on that path. I don't know if you guys ever watched a movie called Crip Camp.
No, but it sounds awesome.
Right?
Back from the 60s, dude. Look into it. I think it's either on Netflix or something like that. I mean, it's horrible and funny and it's just reality. But the one little there was this little midget chick, and she was like, I don't know, about like this tall or some shit. But she was one of the brainiacs that was able to push through like the ADA, the American Disabilities Act. And the chick was out of her gourd. And, just the entire movie itself, it's not exactly an easy read. It sort of gives you like, I don't know, some type of, heart disease or some shit, only because it really does pluck at the heartstrings. And it's just, I think it's worth the squeeze myself.
Yeah, we actually had to get a trailer just to haul my wheelchair so we can get around. I mean, the manual chair, I can take it, but not for a very long time.
I could if I felt so, if I really actually had to. I do it all the time.
It would just kill my shoulders. I'm already tearing them up.
Hey, Quadfather, what's the name of the chick that pushed through that ADA thing? He was just talking about it. Now, Leland's, it's actually, like I say, it's worth the squeeze. So, but only because we're talking about, going through an injury like this back in the 60s. So it just gives you a slightly different view of the world, only because there's a big difference between the world back in the 60s and as it is today. Trust me, I lived through it. I get it, 1,000%. July 10th, 1962, gentlemen. And still,
Godfather says it's Judy Newman.
Judy Newman, yeah.
That we have to thank for the ADA.
Let me tell you something. Chick was like 4 feet tall, and she had balls the size of all of us together. That chick, man. I mean, she was super fucked up. But the only problem is she had an attitude problem. And balls the size of watermelons, man. Chick was on a mission.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Joni Erickson Tada was also instrumental in the ADA. Thank you, Leland. Is Leland, right?
Yeah. Leland. Yeah, he's a good dog.
Before we get too far off, though, I want to go back to the question I asked earlier. What do subs? How do we feel about subs being acquaintances or friends? And I asked because I talk with my subs way more than my friends, and at this point, I definitely don't have any qualms calling them my friends in the chat and meeting it. Yeah, we're probably not best friends. But I mean, if I'm talking to these people a couple times a week, and I mean, they're probably closer to me than most all my friends at this point.
Dude, I agree 1,000%.
I agree
You know,
with it.
yeah, but there's one massive thing. It's just that they haven't really earned the title of friendship with real friends. Are they friends? Yeah. You guys are my friends. We're friendly. I have no idea what you're born and raised. I have no idea what you do. I have, there's no lineage that I believe you have to put some time in. And you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that there's not a possibility of, dude, let me tell you something, Cord. You come to my house, I'm rolling out the red carpet. Talk to Tough Guy. He'll tell you the same thing. I am going to treat you like the prince that you never thought you would be. Absolutely, positively. I will rearrange my entire schedule. However, once
He
you're
likes
gone,
he likes to say that.
oh, bullshit. What are you talking about, Tough Guy?
Bust my chin off his railing. Tries to throw me on the floor.
I wanted to throw you on the floor. Would have been the greatest lesson of your life after your injury. Oh, by the way, you smashed your face into that thing all by yourself.
That's what
I
I
was
said.
on the other side. Dude, got that stupid fish hook thing out of your face. Ah, thank you very much. No applause, just throw money.
Yeah, but I get what he's saying because I think that we talk to the people that subscribe to us more
Absolutely.
than we do our friends. Because a lot of them are in the same situation too.
Why do you think they're calling you? You know what I mean? Why are they reaching out to you? They're looking for something that, maybe there's something that's going on that, they don't quite know, that they need to have an idea what's going on.
Well, the
Very true.
algorithm is a powerful thing. Especially our channels being as small as they are, the fact that we have anybody talking to us is pretty amazing. But I'd be willing to bet that most of those people that are talking to us consistently are definitely there for whatever reason. Probably because they like us. Hopefully because they like us. But yeah,
I would hope to think that our channels are giving motivation, inspiration, hacks, all that other shit. See, if he had a smartphone, he could have just pushed the button and it would have just answered.
There's a term I'm thinking of here. It sounds like blow me, but it's, make me a blow me sandwich. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
I don't care. I don't care. Question to you two guys. Yeah, I actually do. I have a ton of different emails, a bunch of guys that I've gotten, and some other chicks that have reached out to me about certain things over the years. And how many guys, how many people actually physically call you, like on the phone? I mean, as soon as I met that prick, I made sure I reached out to him, gave him my phone number, and I've been yapping with him like a couple times a week. You stuttering prick, you still haven't given me your phone number. But no, how many people do you talk to?
I've reached out to other people, but on the phone, just you.
Right. Well, what's the problem?
I don't know. People don't like me, I guess. I have no clue.
Well, give a whirl of like, hey, dude, you know what? Why don't you call me? I don't want to do this email bullshit, because I don't do that. Because if I were to have to actually write down and go clickety clickety click for everything that comes out of this massive spewing freaking cesspool, I would be there for the rest of my life. So it's easier for me to call you up and break your little ballines, man. It's just 1,000 times easier. It's just now. You know what? I'm gonna talk to it. I'm a face guy. I can't break balls just by pushing buttons.
It's very true.
The only people that call me are the people that love me the most, like my sisters, my mom, my dad, and a few of my absolute best friends.
Okay.
But, I don't get phone calls almost ever, and I kind of like that, to be honest.
I can cure you of that problem.
You can just call me.
Oh, dude, you'll be waiting with bated breath, dude. You'll be like, you'll be doing exactly what I just did with my phone. You're killing me. Only because it was a number I didn't recognize. Yeah, get out of here. But you'd be going like this. Fucking quad, you're killing me. Hopefully, I have that ability.
I mean, do you like it that mentally does it affect us that our friends is just ain't around anymore?
For me, absolutely not. These are the people I love the most in theory, right? I I would rather them be off doing something else and happy than, you know, the alternative with me. And if I can get a phone call every once in a while or whatever, that's all I need.
Well, I will agree with you on that one. You know, just at every now and then a reach out, but I don't want anybody to feel obligated. You know, it's like every now and then I will get somebody that I haven't spoken to. They're like, you know, I'd really like to stop by for a visit. I hate that term. I don't want you to do a fucking visit. It's almost like you're, going to a nursing home or something like that. You want to come and hang out for a little bit, we'll break balls or whatever it is. That's good. But, and I have, in the past, I've also had, some people that were like, my friends that have just inadvertently stopped by and they have this mousy way about them and they start making apologies about why they haven't stopped by or why they haven't done this. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, dude, I get it. I totally get it. But if you really gave two fucks, you'd pick up the phone every now and then, And it's just, I mean, believe it or not, my attitude hasn't completely changed. I've always had, been dealing with a little bit of angst in my life. And, I've lived so many different places, much like you guys. And the fact that, the people that I give a shit about, I really give a shit about. And the people that I thought I gave a shit about, I thought they gave a shit about me. And it's not like, Cordy, you're 15 hours from where you were living. I have people that I know that are 40 minutes, a half hour, 20 minutes.
Right.
I got nothing. So if they just show up one day, I sit there and I tell them, hey, how you doing? If they do anything stupid, I'm like, do me a favor. Get the fuck out of here.
But I think, like Cordy, I pushed a lot of people away because I just didn't want the pity.
Well, I'm thinking now, like, since we've been talking, and this keeps coming up a little bit. What do you do then? I would say if you're having problems with friends or acquaintances, reach out to people, right? And if you ain't reaching out to them, then you ain't got shit to bitch about, right?
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you very much.
But yeah, I agree. I don't know. This is a weird topic, and honestly, I had no idea how to approach this. So I think this has went pretty good. I'm hoping somebody's getting something out of this, but I'm having fun talking about it.
I think it's hard because there is a lot of people out there that don't have anybody, are in a bad position. And
so what do they do?
Well, I wish I would have known what to do because I had coordinators that dropped the ball that should have been looking after me, making sure that I was in safe spaces and had good care. If it wasn't for Tara, I literally would not be here today.
Oh, dude, wasn't for Mary.
Hooray for Tara.
I'm out.
Hey, by the way, let's shout out to Tara and Mary. You guys both shouted them out earlier, but let's give them a round of applause, ladies.
I think we need to have a channel or a show one day with the caretakers, the girlfriends, the ones that have to deal with this, because it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
easy.
No, I agree. It's rough, man. Although I do like Leland's thing when people show up and they say they're not even there and they're already saying they can't stay long. All right, do me, baby, can't stay long. Get the fuck out of here, you know. Oh my goodness, no, but I find Mayor to be a ridiculous human being. I don't quite understand. I don't get it, and it's every so now and again, I'll look at her and be like, all right, baby, claim your prize. You fought for it. You wanted it. Here I am. Come and get me. And every day I wake up and she's still there and she's not hovering over me with either a time. All right, Sean, time for your lethal injection. I'd be like this. Oh, awesome! It's that time. Yeah, they certainly hit a vein, but it's just I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know exactly how I would go about being her if I even was put in that position. I mean, once again, it is definitely just a tiny little learning curve. But she just took to it like a duck to water, and I don't get it.
Too.
Really don't get it.
I mean, because it's definitely not easy to live with people like us. I say people like us, but it's not easy.
Well, I would have to say, out of the three of us, Cordy's got the best mobility. I'm probably coming in a decent second. You're batting third. Sorry, tough guy. But your ability to get from to and from, and a bunch of stuff. I mean, you have a little bit better as far as mobility is concerned. That kid's from a different planet. Me, I can get in and out of cars. Man, unless I'm doing something that's got some impact, I don't want to just take a drive around the block. I don't want to go over there and see that guy I haven't seen for 22 minutes and then go back in. So I would be driving and be like, love, take the scenic route. Drive me through the park. You know how I love the park. I just no. I need, if I'm gonna do something, I need not a reward, but I want it to count. I want it to actually have some impact. The whole thing, research, the whole thing. I got my stepson's graduation is next week. We got to go over to the PAC Center. I'm going to be going to his wedding over in Brooklyn. And it's just like, things that I want something to have a serious impact. I want to be there for the people that are there for me. Everybody else, you know what? If you've made some impression, what have you, that's a story for another day. We'll discuss that. However, is what it is, man.
I think that's why, like, every transfer I do into the car, I'm doing for my loved ones because, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
And that's a part of my situation.
Absolutely, dude. Oh, goodness. I got a question.
Sure.
And I would imagine, all due respects there, Mr. Ross, I think Rob may be a little bit better to handle this whole thing, although I would imagine you're in the same ballpark, but I'm going to address you in just a moment. Adaptations to certain pieces of equipment, what have you done?
Me?
Yeah, first off, there's adaptive equipment, but adaptive equipment is rather generic. So one of the things that I enjoy doing is actually making it specific to my needs. But I'm just curious if you have followed suit on that. I know you got your office and all that tough guy shit, so that had to be dialed into what you got going on.
Yeah, I think I am more of a tech side of things and work on a lot of that type of stuff. Music,
Yeah, but my question is
I
quite
know
simple.
my adaptation.
Yes.
I don't know. Looking around if I actually adapted to anything.
Got the fluke kid in the house. Shorty showing up. We got two shows. I got to tell you, you know what I always found funny is the fact that the Live to Roll has a Sean and a Rob. This place, Sean and a Rob. It's just shit doesn't happen every day.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't think there's much around my house that I've made. No.
You haven't gotten there yet.
I don't know what you mean by adapted or anything. I don't. Besides, like
What? I'm sorry,
kitchen
Cordy.
sinks and bathroom sinks, I haven't had. I don't really use anything besides a chair.
I mean, I adapted my weights. I have 2 sets of weights.
My point.
Oh, like
I
modified.
Exactly.
I have my bands. I have the tower. Oh, I mean, I have lots of stuff that I have adapted to, I guess.
Well, yeah, your needs. I mean, you got the mat on the floor. You know, not on, but a lot of times when I say adapt, I think I create the illusion that everything has to be a hardware item. But a lot of times, just adapting means like, you know, what have you done mentally in order to figure out? I mean, I'm sorry, but it's not a typical thing for a quadriplegic to be lowered on the floor with a Hoyer lift. It's not, you know, it's not a typical thing. I mean, Cordy, I saw him, he was working on his bed doing whatever it is, because I'm guessing him, dude, can you get on and off the floor at all?
I probably could, but I have no reason to get on the floor.
Okay.
I take that back. I seen that video Rob did the other day where he was doing push-ups. That made me want to get on the floor. But besides that, I've had no real ambition.
I mean, I found once I got on the floor, it's just amazing. And I actually didn't even use a lift the other day to get in or out of the chair or on my mat. I transferred onto my couch. Then we got to the floor. And that's,
Hey,
yeah.
but that's what I'm talking about. You made a certain adaptation. May not have completely modified a couch. I got on and off the floor. I didn't modify a bench. I just adapted it for my needs. You know what I mean? That's, you know, modification is not just, it's also an how something is meant to be as compared to how it is you utilize it.
Right.
That's an adaptation. I mean, you know, I'm sorry, Corb, what?
You want to know the coolest thing I've modified for my situation? You guys know those water bottle holders that go around your tubing on your wheelchair?
Okay.
Well, if you take the back off of one of those, you can use it to put any kind of bag. Like I have a little bag on mine, so I can put that anywhere that has tubing on my chair. And that was probably the coolest modification I had. Is
Good.
something like that? Does that count?
See, but that's exactly my point. It's going to be some
Yeah.
sort of adaptation.
My desk is raised an extra, I think 5.5 inches off the ground. That's been adapted for us, or me. I look around. There is a lot that is adapted, I guess.
Of course, for your specific needs. That's my point exactly. You know, it's once again, you know, obviously we got away from the friend and acquaintance thing, but still at the same time, you know, I sort of steered the conversation a little bit towards it because I think the topic we should do next week is adaptation. You know what I mean? But hey, Cordy, you're up, tough guy. You screwed the pooch on this
Say,
one.
what was your idea? Say that again.
Adaptation. You know, how you adapt things
Oh.
either mentally or physically to deal with, like, you know, all your happy, new, fuzzy, warm, cuddly surroundings. But however, you're up, man. You're up.
Oh, like the lights in the
That's fine.
background.
I forgot. I said I was going to come up with an idea, but I forgot.
Do you have
Right.
a hand control, Cordy? No, I don't think so.
Hand control in the van, yeah.
Oh, in your van. Do you have a smart drive, Cordy?
Yeah.
Well, is he
I don't
talking
think
about
so.
hand control in the van or hand control the ability to grab? Hold up
That's
your
a-
hand, Corey. Go like this. Can you squish? Can you grasp? Oh,
I
okay.
don't miss.
Never
Yeah.
like you anyway. See you
I've
later.
got magic hands.
Oh,
Isn't that a song from? No.
Who told
Anyway,
you,
yeah.
who told you that?
We're probably pretty close to the end of this. Before we do, something else came to my mind regarding the relationships acquaintance theme.
Okay.
I think one of the biggest things that mess with the way I perceive friends and people and acquaintances, oddly enough, is the fact that I lost the ability to reproduce and use my sexual organs. I was an extremely sexual creature, and I think that played a part in my entire life. So I'm wondering, do you guys think that I don't know if you have the same circumstance. Like I can't use anything below my nipples. So did that play a part in how you perceived people, women, everyone?
I'm not too embarrassed to say this. I actually go for a surgery in August to fix that issue.
Well, my shit still works. I just need a crane to make it move anymore. It's like back in the day, you used to wake up with a knob, man, and be like, "What's up, bitches?" Or either that, or you woke up pitching a pup tent. It takes a little bit more coercion than just a stiff breeze anymore. But I don't know if that's the injury and the age at the same time, but it's just it's just where I am.
I do wish more of my friends came around or, got a hold of me every once in a while. But like you said earlier, that's a two-way street. I mean, I can always reach out too. And I'll leave messages unread for weeks at a time. So, I guess that's a little bit on me.
Well, regardless, you anybody else, I have a tendency as far as things are concerned because I don't believe many people really are interested in taking any form of accountability. And this goes back to everything and since the dawn of time. So I accept responsibility. I take accountability for all the whims and the woes of the entire world. You know why? Because I don't really give a shit about it. And because if people aren't going to take any accountability, obviously they're not going to really give a shit about it. So there I am, right smack dab in the middle, back again, kids. Just the way I rock the boat, you know what I mean? Hey, you did something stupid, blame it on me. No problem. I'm not going to give you shit anyway. It's just.
Yeah, I agree. I'm the number one sole reason I don't have friends or acquaintances.
I think it's
Cordy, call me. Dude, it's just, we're in a tough spot, man.
But I think this right here is friendship. It's, for me, it has actually made my life better. I mean, just hanging out, talking, hopefully helping people around the world, We have no idea what our videos can do.
No, I agree. I mean, but also, this is where we are, and this is how we're going to go about communicating. There are others, a lot of ables and stuff like that, but there's a lot of times, fully able-bodied people can't really relate to what we're doing or how we got to go about making an existence. So whether you like it or not, between, the East Coast roller thing and the Live to Roll boys and a couple of the other people that you're going to meet on stuff like that, it's our new family, man. It just is what it is. It's just, it's just what it is, man. And it could easily be worse. Being a complete and total recluse is really not a way to live because, human beings, we're pack animals. Can we survive alone? Yes, we can. Do we like it? Not exactly. You're going to have some type of interaction eventually. Even with people, you don't necessarily like to, even have around. But then again, those are ones you can just, well, that's a story for another day, gentlemen.
Brother, that's for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, that's why we all got to stick together, because that's all we got.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, Leland, do me a favor. Send me the link to your channel, only because I have no idea. I cannot find you anywhere. It took me forever to find him. I don't know why, because he's retarded. But I want to drop in and see how you're holding up later on. Like,
Yeah.
angrypod@gmail.com, Chief.
Tara always jumps on, so I'll watch your stuff here at 7:30. But I don't know if Cordy has a closeout line yet. But if anybody's got questions, they can drop them. And I don't know what Angry Quad always has is goodbye, folks, and
Oh, that's all, folks. That's a Porky Pig, dude. I established that when I was 5. It just stay, dude. Just what it is. It's
Yeah, I don't really have an outro other than peace out. I would say I don't know exactly what we said all here today, but if anybody's listening and they got problems with friends or acquaintances, reach out to one of us. We can help give you some advice, or at least be there to talk to you. And
all of our emails
sure that
are
combined
right up
we can
there.
come up with some good ideas for you.
Absolutely.
I'm curious what the Angry Quad 3127. What's a 3127?
That's actually how to get to your YouTube channel.
Okay. All right. I learned something new every day. I was just like, that's not my email address. It's not it's just angryquad@gmail.
Your email address is right above you.
Yeah.
So, but
Hey,
Yeah, that's your YouTube handle.
my persona, my man.
But I want to thank everyone for hanging out with us and making this an even better show. Each week is getting better.
Absolutely. We'll see. Like I said, I'll see if I can't start shaking the
Thanks
tree.
for joining the live chat.
Yeah, thanks, girls, everybody. I'll see if I can't get in touch with Dr. Goldsmith, bring him in. But prior to that, I got to figure out what in the world we're going to ask this guy, because they would have to be pointed questions. It's the fact that he's even considering the idea of showing up. He's probably just getting out of work right now, man. So, but anyway, this is the Angry Quad signing off. That's all, folks.
Thanks, guys. Catch
Need a
you.
full